Previously on Sims Survivor. At the Immunity Challenge, it was a close battle between Jocelyn and Steven, but by an advantage of 15 points, Steven was able to secure immunity for himself, guaranteeing him a spot in the Final Four. At another explosive tribal council, Jocelyn used her hidden immunity idol on herself, and Steven used the hidden immunity idol on Luke. After 3 votes were cancelled out, it was a tie vote between Annabella and Calypso. But after a revote, Calypso unfortunately became the 7th member of the jury. 4 castaways remain, who will be voted out next. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Sims Survivor. We are in part 2 of our season finale. We are 1 episode away from finding out who is going to win this season. Unfortunately for Calypso, she was unlucky in the tribal council and things did not go her way, and she became the 7th member of the jury. I'm gonna miss her. I think she did an absolute great job this season. She went under the radar, but unfortunately, she just didn't have the social connections that Annabella had in the tie vote. Going into today's episode, our 4 will become 3 after our final immunity challenge. I'm really excited for it, and I'm excited to see who's going to win it. There's no more idols to protect anyone. This is purely your social game and your physical game. So, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Jocelyn is very lucky that she had that hidden immunity idol in her back pocket because Steven and Calypso's votes would have 110% sent her to the jury had she not had the idol. I think Luke is also probably a bit lucky because he got saved. He didn't even have to worry about getting votes against him because Steven used the hidden immunity idol on Luke to prevent any votes against him. So that strong social connection really came into play at Tribal. Annabella is also pretty safe because she didn't get sent home in the tie vote. And I think because of the fact that she didn't vote for Jocelyn, she didn't vote for Steven, etc., she was safe. But there might be some tension between her and Luke because they did vote for each other. I'm also curious to see if Steven's going to be able to make it to the final 3. I think he's the biggest contender to win the game at the moment, but he does not have any hidden immunity idol or immunity whatsoever at this point to protect him. So I think if he wants to make it to the end, he's going to need to win the upcoming challenge. It's great that he brought Luke into the Final Four, but relationships change on the flip of a dime, so we could easily see Luke betray him. Luke's betrayed multiple people this season, so I don't see why he wouldn't be able to do it to Steven as well. I'm starting to wonder if the Oasis was a curse because now Luke is the only person remaining in the game who can access the Oasis. Leon, Ismael, and Calypso have all been eliminated. So I'm wondering if that reward was secretly a punishment as well. If Luke gets eliminated in Tribal Council tonight, we'll have our answer to that. But yeah, just something I was pointing out and noticing. Jocelyn and Steven have been targeting each other in this game for as long as I can remember. Vote after vote after vote after vote. They've tried to get each other out, but they've been unsuccessful in doing so. So I'm wondering if they'll finally be able to get their way and one of them will reign victorious at Tribal Council because it's getting down to the wire. And I suspect they'll vote for each other again. So all it takes is 1 extra vote and that could be the difference in sending the other home. Because Steven decided to save Luke, there's probably some form of unspoken alliance between the two to not vote for each other in the upcoming Tribal Council. And that's going to be a very key thing to look out for when we get into the votes. It is now time for the final immunity challenge of the season. Today's challenge is called Chess Champion, and here's how it works. The 4 remaining castaways will be divided into 2 sets of pairs. Each pair will compete against each other in a head-to-head battle of chess. The winner of each round will advance to the final round, and the winner of the final round will receive immunity and will be guaranteed a spot in the final 3. There's a lot at stake, so without further ado, let's get into the challenge. And we have randomized the list, so our pair matchups will be Jocelyn versus Steven and Annabella versus Luke. And Steven has won round 1. He will advance to the final round.
Play the arch.
Huh? Where's the Kepjo?
Glona.
Your bid.
Flanska. Labujas.
And Annabella has won round 2, which means she will now face off against Steven for immunity. It is now time for our final round. The winner of this round will win immunity and a guaranteed spot in the final 3. Without further ado, let's begin.
Ooh. Sheesh. Ah.
Darby. Open.
Meg.
Meg. Aw. Meg.
Nah, Meg J.
And Annabella has beaten Steven. Congratulations, Annabella. You have won the final immunity challenge of the season. As a result, you have guaranteed yourself a spot in the final 3 and a chance to plead your case for why you should win 1 million simoleons. Steven, Luke, Jocelyn, after 36 days in this game, one of your journeys will be cut short at Tribal Council. You have a lot to discuss. Head back to camp. Unfortunately, the odds are not in Jocelyn's favor going into the Tribal Council because the only options to vote for besides herself are Luke and Steven. They're not going to vote for each other realistically, so it looks like their votes are going to be directed towards her. In order for Jocelyn to stay, she needs to align her vote with Annabella. The two of them can work together, they can manage a tie, and that at least gives her a chance. But nothing's set in stone at this point, things can easily change, so I'm wondering to see what will occur. Annabella has fought her way this entire season to get to this point, so I'm proud of her for winning the final immunity. She undoubtedly deserves it. She is now tied for the most immunity wins this season at 3. The other person who has also attained 3, you can probably guess, is Steven. So the two of them are going to be extremely big contenders if they both make it to the final 3. So if I were in Annabella's situation, I would want to get rid of Steven. He's just been very good this season with his gameplay. He's won immunities, he's had a hidden idol, he's saved people. So it's going to be interesting to see if Annabella's going to take a shot at him or she's going to try and take someone else out. But regardless, this Tribal Council is basically going to show us who the final 3 are going to be. So I'm really looking forward to it. After Calypso's elimination and Steven using the hidden immunity idol on Luke, I'm wondering if Jocelyn and Annabella are going to recognize that the two guys need to be split up and want to have a final 3 that has a majority of women in it, because it would not be smart to bring the two of them to the end. But they're I don't know. It's a force. It's either going to be a 2 versus 2 or the votes are going to be screwed all over the place, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Jocelyn has recently been talking to Luke and Steven a lot at this point, so I'm wondering if she's attempting to turn them against each other in this upcoming vote to split up votes that are going to be cast against her and make them vote for each other instead. It's definitely a far-reaching move at this point, but it's not impossible. If she keeps talking to them at this rate, she could easily get it done. It looks like this is the final meal between the final four, the last time that they're probably all going to sit with each other. It's kind of touching because it's like the season has been going on for so long, yet so little at the same time, and to watch the 18 dwindle down to just 4 people left in the game is honestly mind-blowing. So it's kind of melancholic that this is the last time that the 4 of them are all going to be sitting down to eat together, but I just thought I'd share it because why not? It is now time for Tribal Council. Before we begin, we will first bring in the members of our jury. Alyssa, Abigail, Dylan, Ismail, Khaled, Leon, and Calypso, who was voted out at the last Tribal Council. Without further ado, we will now begin the vote. Annabella, you're up first. I will now go tally the votes. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the Tribal Council area immediately. I will now read the votes. First vote, Steven. Jocelyn, that's 1 vote Jocelyn, 1 vote Steven. Jocelyn, that's 2 votes Jocelyn, 1 vote Steven, 1 vote left. 15th person voted out of Survivor, and the 8th member of our jury, Jocelyn, that's 3, that's enough. Please come bring me your torch. Jocelyn, the tribe has spoken. Congratulations to the 3 of you. You each will get to plead your chance to the jury for why you deserve to win Season 1 of Sims Survivor. You have a lot of planning to do, and a lot of rest to catch up on. Head back to camp. And that concludes another episode of Sims Survivor. Unfortunately, Jocelyn was the next person to be voted out. After checking the relationship points that Luke had between Jocelyn and Steven, there was a 1-point difference. Had there been one more conversation between Jocelyn and Luke, she would have been able to flip him over. It would have gone to a tie, a tiebreaker, etc., and not just a straight 3-1 vote. It's sad to see her go. She played a great game, but we finally have our final 3. Annabella, Steven, and Luke. Who do you want to win between those 3? Are you shocked by Jocelyn's elimination? Thank you so much for watching this season. It means honestly the world to me, and we're almost done it, which is kind of sad, but also kind of rewarding that it's just been 20 episodes of so fun-filled, and it's been really cool to record and such, and it's my first season of doing anything like this, so I really appreciate any feedback, anything that you would recommend. But yeah, without further ado, I'll see you in the next episode, so see you later.